Hey there. So I decided to continue drawing after I did my laundry and laid out in the sun for a little bit because it's supposed to rain today. So I decided to continue. And I had made a video prior to this, but I didn't like how it turned out. So I went ahead and did some extra drawing in that other video that you don't get to see here, but that's okay. So just going to talk about a little bit about what's going on these days. I have three sons. Those of you who don't know anything about me, they are 26, 23, and almost 21. I am 51 years old. I'll be 52 in June. And I am married to a fantastic man. And we live in Southern California. And it has been really weird these last 3 or 4 weeks. I am working for someone else for the first time in a long time. I used to be a teacher. I used to teach culinary arts at a private school that my children attended. And I have to say, I love that job more than pretty much anything else I've ever done. And I decided to leave that when my younger son was ready to graduate from school. And I kind of regret that I did that. However, it has helped me to do a lot of other things and, make some more money. So I taught school for 7 years. I have owned my own catering company about 22 years. And I used to do some direct sales and stuff like that. But and then recently I had a restaurant for 2 years, and that was an eye-opening and learning experience, to say the least. And I just sold it in November, and really glad that I did. Who would have been able to predict something like this? But I really like that at my job we're selling a product to people that people need. I work at a bread company, and our bread is absolutely incredible. It is preservative free, and it's a really stellar product, and we sell to a lot of big companies. I think over 200 different stores, grocery stores, and a lot of restaurants. But right now, the restaurants are closed down. So there's some really awesome people out there that own restaurants, and we're trying to help them to diversify and to think outside the box, and that's really, really rewarding for me. I have a daughter. I have one son who's married, and he is married to an ER nurse. Basically, he's married to Superwoman, and she goes into work every single time and saves lives every single minute of her job. She's pretty incredible, and I know my son is really, really proud of her too. And I have a younger son who just came back from being in school in Arizona for the last few months, and they shut the school down early, and he's still doing his classes online. And hopefully he will graduate next year. And if he doesn't, well, he'll graduate sometime. So, learning to take things as they come and not stress about things so much. That's where this drawing really comes in handy for me. It helps me to have some control over something. I tend to be a worrier. I don't like to be a worrier, but it's just a part of me that I can't always get a handle on. So when I'm feeling particularly stressed or I need something to focus on, this is where I come. I come to this little area. My husband and my kids bought me this table. It's like a drafting table, and it's on a kind of a slant. It's glass, and it has really cool, I'll show you. It has really cool holders for all kinds of fun stuff. It's just glass, and it has all these neat little holders and little drawers connected to it and stuff. It's kind of cool. And so this is my little area. Oh, and I get to see pretty views. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, when the windows are open, I get to see gorgeous vistas like that. Oh, look at that. That's my son's house right there. I get to see pretty little vistas like that. So I get inspiration from the view and inspiration from life, and I just draw. And I like to draw botanicals because they're easier to draw. I don't know how to draw people or paintings or stuff like that. This is what I draw. Pretty much geometric shapes and calligraphy and stuff like that. So pay no attention to my nails. I'm not going to be able to go get my nails done for over a month. So it's been a few weeks since my nails were done, and they're going to be falling off soon. So they're all weird, and everyone's going to be coming out looking like well, we're all going to have roots. Mine are going to be white, but it is what it is. And really, that's not more important than our lives. So stay in the house, people. I was one of those people that, oh, this is not a big deal. Well, I have since changed my view, and I fully admit that I was wrong. So there's that. So I'm going to make this a little leaf here and just kind of add a little more detail to that. Can you see that? Yeah. All right, I'm going to do some more circles here. A friend of mine just sent me a video of Derek Huff doing a pattern that I love to do. I forgot what it's called because I don't pay attention to the names, but it's just drawing a triangle and then doing lines in it, and it makes it look like it's this twisty turvy, really difficult thing. But once you break all these little tasks down, they're really quite simple to do. You just have to have kind of a steady hand. I have arthritis in my fingers, and sometimes the pen gets really hard to hold, but I do it anyway because I feel like it keeps my fingers nimble. I also crochet, and I know I really should do some things that are more cardio. This all sitting down stuff is not doing anything for me, but it's good for my brain. So after this, I'm going to go take a little walk and do something like that. So I'll finish this one in a second. I'm going to do some more. I really like this one. So let's do this. I really like this. There really is no rhyme or reason. I don't really have this stuff planned. I just like to do things organically. So, okay. So there's that. I have 2 pit bulls. They're both rescues. One's named Sophie and one is named Duke. Sophie we got first on July 8th of 2013. And she ate an entire outdoor couch full of cushions because she was bored. So we got her Duke in October of 2013. And when I owned the restaurant, they were tearing up everything. But now that people are home more, she's no longer tearing things up. But they're the sweetest dogs ever. But they will protect us when they need to. And I can't imagine life without them. They're my other children now. Now that all my kids are kind of out of the house. Johnny's home for the summer, but he'll be going back to school, I'm sure, by August or September. So it'll just be Bill and I again in the house. So this is like a flower petal thing, but I just learned this a few months ago on a YouTube channel. They name them and stuff. I just know I like them and I don't pay attention to the names, but maybe I should. I don't know. Notice it's not perfect. And you just come in here and you shadow that right there. And once I shade it with it's broken, but this little shading pencil here, and then I'm going to buff it out with this big rolled piece of, this big rolled piece of paper thing. It gives it some dimension. I'll show you, kind of like right there. That's kind of what I'm going for. So, oops. I can't seem to get this back into the same place every time. There we go. So there's that. And if you like this video or you like things like this, please let me know in the comments and tell me so, because it really, I'm new to all this. I've had a YouTube channel for a really long time, and mostly it's going to be cooking, but I think people need to concentrate on stuff right now that can keep their mind off of what's going on in the world. So if I can help with a little bit of that, I am all for it. So I call myself a chef. I've taken a few courses, but I'm kind of like a Rachel Ray and a Ina Garten, where I didn't learn at a school. I didn't go to culinary school. But it's ever since my oldest son was, I was pregnant with my older son, I was interested in making things from scratch. And he's kind of like my inspiration for that. So I haven't bought bread since I started working for this company, and the only reason I will buy bread now is because our bread is so pure and so preservative free. Otherwise, I hadn't purchased bread in over 20 years because I make it all myself. So that's something I really love to do too. For me, bread dough is like Play-Doh. It's the best stuff to work with. And I make pizzas and tortillas and bagels and I have given birth to 3 absolute food snobs. Like, my daughter-in-law will say, "Oh, your son won't use already ground pepper. It has to be fresh cracked black pepper." And that's their whole life. All I said was, "Can you hand me the fresh cracked black? We have to have a grinder." So they're snobby that way, and I kind of like it, much to my daughter-in-law's chagrin, I'm sure. But she likes good food too. And every time I know she's coming over, I will try and have homemade tzatziki for her because she loves it. It's healthy, it's delicious, it's fresh, and it's vibrant. Ooh, I'm gonna have to make tzatziki on this channel so that so you guys can see what that is. I'm gonna change markers right now because I don't want to do all that filling in I'm gonna do on this with a really thin marker. So then I'm just gonna color. So basically, this is just coloring. Oh, I should show you guys the coloring book I did, which hasn't been published yet, but I made coloring book pages. And because we're in this quarantine situation right now, I should probably just take pictures of them and you guys can just download them or whatever, and you guys can just color them in. They're not as intricate as some of the ones you see that you can buy, but I did it intentionally like that so that people who wanted to maybe learn how to do something like this could put their own designs inside of the large open spaces that I did the coloring, that I did for the drawing, so that you guys can experiment with your own patterns and do the things that you like without having to commit to drawing it from scratch. You know what I mean? So there's that. How many? Oh, I'm going 13 minutes now. Well, maybe we can go a little longer. We'll see. I don't know how long my iPad will take to download it. I don't have all of that fancy schmancy editing equipment. This is what you're going to see. This is what I'm filming. This is what you're going to get. I just don't have the patience to do all that stuff unless it starts to blow up and I can make this my job. Then, that's what we'll do. But until then, it's an iPad and downloading on YouTube. And that's it. All right, so I'm going to end it here for a little bit, and I will come back with another video to finish it off. Ciao. Like and subscribe.